Today, I'm talking with Shanti, who owns the Bodhi Tree Yoga Studio just up the street on Prescott. And I wanted to start by asking you, we were just having this really intense conversation, which I enjoyed, about your passion for yoga. Can you talk a little bit about how you found this passion for yoga?
Absolutely. Yoga has been something that's been part of my life since I was literally born. Like from my childhood, my mother was a spiritualist, and in that we learned about meditation, we learned about setting intentions, about walking our life through passion and intention, literally purpose. And so when I found yoga in itself as the traditional form of what we know it today, it felt like I was coming home. It was something I had been part of my entire life, but it just didn't exist where I grew up in that sense.
Yes.
I spent some time in my younger years actually teaching Bible studies and philosophy to other peers of my age. And as it turns out, that's what I do now, but with other scriptures.
Yes.
I still do the same thing, teaching philosophy and yogic philosophy to other people. So my journey has been 35 years and counting.
Wow.
through this journey, and I couldn't be more blessed that I still get to do it. It really is what I feel my dharma, the path I was born to do.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm expressing it through owning the Bodhi Tree Yoga Center, which has been such a blessing. Been there for 3 years. I've been part of it for close to 12 years now. So we've been a staple here downtown for 14 years. I've been part of it for 12 years, and I've owned it for 3. So it's been a long time, and I love every single moment of it. There's nothing to shy away from. It's just such a beauty. To me, what it all comes down to is that we're sharing unification. Yoga means to join together. It means to yoke. And so when we're practicing yoga as in movement, we're really bringing together our minds, our bodies, and our breath. Whether we're sitting together in Sangha, which is community, we're coming together for wholeness. Whether we're sitting together in meditation, we're trying to connect again with our higher selves, with our universe, our God, whatever we want to call it. And that is what we do. We really try to bring community back into wholeness. And welcome to our space.
That's awesome. So I've been to your space before. It's lovely. How did COVID affect your business?
We had to close.
Yeah.
We had to close. We were closed for 4 months exactly, from day to day.
Wow.
That's a big deal.
Huge.
Such a big deal. Especially considering we, pre-COVID, had about 20 classes on the schedule. And in those classes, it's definitely a walk-in base where everybody comes in. There's always room for one more. Show up to any class. There's no need to worry about it. You see it on the schedule. You come on by, especially if it fits your day-to-day life today.
Yes.
And when we had to close, that meant there was nothing happening anymore. We couldn't come together. We couldn't meet together. You couldn't practice yoga in a tethered space. We did try to go online, but I'll be 100% honest that online is only for certain people.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not for everyone, and that's okay. And some people shine online, and they're so brilliant and beautiful, and I love that they were able to transition that way. I need more connection.
Yes.
There's definitely a different. We still offered it, and we still did 4 classes a week online.
Oh, good.
And still had a couple people coming to classes, sometimes a few people, sometimes quite a few more. But it just wasn't the same. Some would show up for 1 class or 2 classes and then say, you know what, I'll wait until we open the studio again.
Yeah.
So it did affect us pretty negatively. Without any income coming in, you can't pay for a standalone location. We have this big, beautiful location right downtown.
Yes.
And there's still rent to pay. There's still utilities to pay. There's still insurance. There's still, everything still exists.
Yes.
Even through a pandemic.
Yep.
And when there's no income, that's really, really, really hard.
Yeah.
So when we got the green light to open our doors again 4 months later, it did also mean that we were going to have to reevaluate the way we were going to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
There's new protocols in place. There's definitely a lot less that we can do.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to think about our bottom dollar as well as a business, as how do we stay self-sustainable,
Mm-hmm.
even if something happens again in the future.
Yes.
How do we do this? How
Right.
do we not move to a place where we're overexerting ourselves and then have to cut everything back down?
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to make sure that this doesn't happen. So throughout the time of the sacred pause of those 4 months of break,
Yes.
reevaluated some of our values, some of our offerings that we wanted to put forward,
Mm-hmm.
and now can excitedly say that we're really moving that direction.
Nice.
That there's a stability, there's a foundation, and we're building from there. At this time, as we've just reopened 2.5 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks now,
Yep.
so exciting. We could only do that with only a few classes on the
Right.
schedule. So rather than 20, we're down to 7 classes for
Okay.
the time being.
Okay.
One of the reasons for that is the cleaning protocols between the classes.
Yes.
So we had to find the right cleaning products. The first ones we had were very, very strong in smell and took hours in order for the smell to dissipate. So we really couldn't do back-to-back classes.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I was afraid of how this would be on people's skins as well, right? How do we clean the props? How do we ensure that we have that? How do we clean the washrooms? Everything needed to be evaluated. How do I keep teachers safe?
Yes.
All of this had to be evaluated. So 7 classes on the schedule, and this Friday is the first time we'll have somebody other than me teaching.
Okay, great.
So we're slowly but surely, and we'll be building up to basically a team of 4 people for the time being.
Yeah.
And we'll see what the next 2, 3, 4 months look like.
Mm-hmm.
If we start to add more, or if we need to peel back, we don't know yet. So it's
Right.
day by day.
Yes.
This also means that our class sizes are much smaller.
Yes.
Some of our classes pre-COVID would see into the 20s in the amount of people that would come to class.
Right.
Others, 5 or 6. So there was a balance.
Yes.
But now we're completely limited to 8. No more than 8. There's spots that are marked out on the floors,
Mm-hmm.
and every person who comes to class rolls their mat out in one of those spots, and each one of those spots is 2 meters from the next spot in any direction. So that way there they have their space, their bubble, and safety.
And do people need to wear masks during
So
class?
they, not during the actual practice. They
Okay.
do need to wear masks at any common area and anytime they step off
Yes.
of their marked out space.
Okay.
So once they're inside that marked out space, the mask can come off
Right.
because
okay.
we are doing physical activity.
Yes.
So according to Ontario Health at this time and a
Mhm.
health unit, that's allowed. We'll play it by ear. If things change, then things will change, and we're open to anything that may happen. But
Mhm.
for the time being, this is our current protocols.
Yes.
We do encourage people to bring their own mats, to
Yes.
bring their own props if they have them.
Mm-hmm.
But if they don't, it's okay.
Yeah.
We do still have them all available. So in calls with the health unit, they did let us know of what their protocols and what their precautions would be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what we're following. So what we're telling students is that if there's anything borrowed after class, that they are to leave them on the floor at that spot
Yeah.
and not put them away.
Yes.
Just leave everything on the floor and walk out.
Right.
Later, I come in and I take care of moving all of the products and all of these props and all of the things that have been used into what I call prop timeout.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So they have their own little quarantine baskets where they have to wait out their time, and then they get sprayed down with disinfectant
Mm-hmm.
before they can go back out onto the prop rack to be utilized. Any of the harder surfaces get a really good washing at
Mhm.
all. So the blocks specifically get a good washing all around. They get some disinfecting time,
Mm-hmm.
and then they get back out.
Great. So if somebody's watching this and they're interested in coming to one of your classes, where is the schedule? Is it on your website?
It's on the website. So our website is www.bodhitree, that's spelled BODHITREE.studio.
Okay.
And right there on the main page of the website, you'll notice this little live schedule. So it's a little calendar.
Yes.
If you click on the calendar, it'll show you the classes available on that day.
Great.
And there's a book here button. So you would click on the book here button to save your spots.
Yes.
We do require pre-registration at this time because we only have 8 spots.
That's right.
And at this time, we also have some classes that are full weeks in advance.
Wow.
Which is amazing.
Yes.
At the same time, a little sad because I really wish that each one of those people on the wait list could be in the class as well. But I can't do anything about it at this time. There's literally nothing I can do. So it's one of those first come, first serve. Really, like the quicker on the button, the better.
Yeah.
So pre-register for those classes. And that can be done even months in advance.
Yes.
We have some people booking into November right now just to ensure they have a spot in their favorite classes.
Yes, yes.
Which, again, is amazing. Like, these are great, amazing things coming out of COVID.
Yes, yes.
So they can do that. The next option is to quite literally give me a call at 613-258-5775.
Okay.
If you're not one of those people who likes to book online, you can give me a call and I'll get you in there and I'll save your spot for your class.
Perfect.
I have some people who send me an email, so we're really flexible and open all around so that we can really help to get everybody back to class in one way, shape, or another.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome, my dear.